Hello, buddy. Omni here. We've talked about this a couple of times in other videos regarding Cobra Kai. We got a little sneak peek at season 2, a little tease, little taste of a small scene between Kreese and Johnny. One of the bigger relationships that we want to see pan out and how this plays out, especially after that end of season 1. And we got a little taste of it here. We've talked about it a little bit in the comments on our other videos. We've had some conversations about how we feel like this relationship's going to play into the greater arc of the show, but we're not going to get too deep into that in this video. Let's just check out the clip and let's see what we have to work with. Sneak peek. Ooh, we got an old school diner here. I love places that do this kind of theme.
Thanks for coming.
Let's make this fast.
Oh, he's not on board. I like it.
How's the corned beef hash?
It's fine.
I'll have it well done. And bring me a cup of Sanka. Red hot, just like you, Dollface. Reminds me of a girl I knew in Panama. Spent some time down there in '89, helping the Delta boys get that son of a bitch, Noriega.
What the hell do you want?
Are you familiar with brumation? In the winter, some animals bury themselves in a hole and sleep there for months.
It's called hibernation.
No, that's for warm-blooded creatures. For the cold-blooded, like snakes, it's brumation. The snake buries himself in a hole. The only difference is, the snake doesn't sleep. He stays awake all winter, waiting for the right moment to emerge. And that moment is now.
Oh my God. Okay. So what all does that can mean so many things. So like, has he just, what kind of life has he been leading? Just like, I lost my dojo. Oh, I'm just gonna crawl in a hole and wait for maybe somebody to bring it back. Oh. That doesn't seem like biding your time. That just seems like being a little, yeah. And then just, oh, there's a sign up on that door. It's got my logo. It's got that name that I came up with. Woo! My time is returned. I don't know. I really want to see them expand on that because it just makes it look like he's some sad, defeated old man who only came back because his legacy was revived by one of his former students. You know, and much like Johnny was in season 1, where, you know, since the last time we've seen him, like what is okay and what is not okay has drastically changed over the years. And Kreese obviously has been hiding in that hole, especially this is evidenced by how uncomfortably he treats that waitress in this clip. I'm wondering how, like, if this goes to any farther extremes throughout the season or when the season actually comes out, because Johnny was pushing some buttons and definitely pushing things a little more than what most people would feel are comfortable these days. And I feel like Kreese is gonna double down on that, like even harder. And I'm curious to see how that pans out and other people's reactions in this world to it, on top of their reactions to his return in general. But still, the whole psychological aspect of his grip on Johnny and his mind is definitely going to be something I can't wait to explore in this, because we still see Johnny struggling with that in season 1. The effects that Kreese had on him, even into his adulthood, and that Cobra Kai left on him, especially at the end of the season where he was trying to instill those same values though he was doing it in a much different way, it's still, the end result was he corrupted his students. He saw them go to lengths that he didn't want them to initially go. Miguel going off the wall, not really off the wall. Okay, he didn't go crazy, but Miguel went as far as to do whatever he needed to win that fight, which even meant playing dirty, which Johnny told him not to do, which is the opposite, at least, of what Kreese did back in the day when he forced Johnny, or yeah, he didn't really force Johnny, but you know, if Johnny didn't listen to him, there would have been physical consequences, and we know that from how Kreese acts and responds from every other encounter. So, you know, in a way, he still knew what he was doing was wrong. It's just the values that Cobra Kai teaches, without some level of restraint, it seems like it's inevitable for like them to go down this road. And Hawk takes this to like the insanest extreme, because I mean, even we saw in the previous trailer for this new season, he's attacking his buddies, his old friends, especially the one that I can't remember his name, but their friend that just didn't want to be involved in anything. Like, you see him getting into a fight with him, and you're just like, man, what? Hawk? Like, you just see him devolve. You know, he does get confidence. He does build back up and have some self-respect for himself, but it goes too far. And you see that Johnny knows it. You see that he's struggling with this outcome, what he's done, and the path he's put his students on, because now they're the bullies. Just like before, just like when him and Danny were in school, when him and Daniel were in school. And I can't wait to see how he deals with that psychologically, and the actions that he takes with it. Is he going to acknowledge that with his students? Is he going to acknowledge this with them? Now, this has been something that was brought up in the conversations in our comments that I've had with some of you guys, that, you know, to what extent does Kreese come in and take this over? Because, you know, we saw in season 1, Johnny didn't really know much about anything about starting a business. And we at least know, at least from what I can remember, that Kreese owns the copyright and the name Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is something that is his property, his intellectual property, at least. I know there were some partners that were involved from his military days that were involved, that I know they came up, I think, in like 2 and 3. I can't remember their names. They were mentioned very slightly in season 1. But I feel like that's probably going to play on it. He's like, oh, you opened up my dojo. It's mine. And he's just going to take it. Or take control, or like enforce his control in it, because, you know, when he left Cobra Kai, it had this reputation that just kind of plummeted them off the map. And here Johnny is, who's turned it all around, built it back up himself, but not knowing like the legal side of things, not knowing the proper way to approach a business or run a business, as we see many examples of in season 1. This is probably another oversight, and that's where Kreese is going to come in and take this from Johnny. And I want to see the journey that he takes in that kind of discovery and dealing with Kreese's resurgence into his life, along with this rivalry that's built back up again with Daniel LaRusso and his dojo opening in complete competition with Cobra Kai. And I really want to see those two finally unite for a common goal, especially now that Kreese is back. And, you know, if they want to keep running this into more seasons and stuff like that, I don't think we're going to see a resolve to the Daniel and Johnny conflict in this season. I just don't see that happening. I want it to happen because I want them to connect. One of my favorite moments from season 1 was that moment in the bar where they had a real heart-to-heart, and you saw for the first time, putting aside their grievances, their differences, and all that, they were really finally getting to know one another And it was such a short-lived moment, and I feel like that's something we want to build to eventually. I feel like that's something that has to happen at least toward the tail end when the series is coming to a conclusion, because where's the conflict from there if, you know, they resolve their issues with each other and then we still have a season after that? What's the conflict to keep the show interesting and fresh and going if that rivalry's not there? What else could come into play that could keep the flow going? Keeping Kreese around, having him go to some greater extreme than just taking over the dojo that Johnny built back up. A lot of possibilities, a lot of things. I know we've talked about with some other people as well about Sid maybe coming back in, maybe being some level of proud for Johnny for finally doing something on his own, building something on his own, and like achieving something with what he's been given, what he's done with his own bare hands to bring back up from the rubble this dojo, this brand. Maybe he'll help him back him up against Kreese. I don't know. It's just some great theories and like speculations that I've seen with talking with a lot of you people down in the comments. It's been a lot of fun. I love sharing ideas and thoughts and having my field of vision opened up thanks to you guys as well. So I really appreciate that. I'd love to keep that coming. Let's keep these comments rolling down below in this video, and we'll see what comes here soon. This season's coming up on us, April 24th, and it'll be out, and I'm going to be watching it. I hope you guys are too. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for stopping in, and you guys take care. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.